brand marketing used to be an absolute cornerstone of marketing and advertising in the United States and around the world. In the days of Don Draper, fake, but in those days and everything. I mean, this is what we did was brand marketing. Essentially, what brand marketing is it's non-direct response advertising that makes your brand you top of mind. So I want to give you I want to tell you why this is important, but I'm going to give you 3 tips that you can use right now, 3 strategies you can use right now to get started with brand marketing so you can be top of mind, so that you can always be the go-to solution when someone has a very specific problem, like the very specific problem that you solved. All right. So brand marketing is, as I said, being top of mind, getting your brand out there, having everybody know. It's essentially public relations. I teach public relations at a college level, and what I'm always telling what I'm saying that I believe is the goal of public relations is mass awareness and mass affinity in your niche. So if that's true, how do we get mass awareness and mass affinity? And how do we do that in a way that is cost effective? So first of all, why do we do it? We want to do that because we want anyone that could ever buy from us to be very aware of us and to be super hyper aware that when this problem happens, that the problem that we solve, like, we are the obvious solution, the obvious go-to solution. And it's an ongoing effort that you need to do. And we've just become so ridiculously obsessed with conversion-based advertising because it's so easy to measure the ROI. And our emotions are so tied to money. It's very difficult to look at these things logistically. It's very hard to dispassionately look at your stats, which is what you always have to do as a business owner, but it gets very difficult. There's all this money involved. And when you're running conversion-based advertising, and of course now this has gotten totally crazy with the tracking issues that we have and the death of the third-party cookie. But when you're running conversion advertising, you can see basically what your direct ROI is from the marketing that you're doing. And we sort of use marketing and advertising interchangeably now, but that's absolute crap. Marketing is not advertising. Advertising is a form of marketing. And when I'm talking about brand marketing, I'm not necessarily talking about advertising. I'm 100% not talking about advertising. It's a piece of it, but it's not all of it. So we get so obsessed with conversion marketing and money in, money out. I spend $1 to get $3 back that we forget about the brand lift. I mean, sometimes you might have heard something about a halo effect, for example. And this is something that we've helped a lot of places do, that I've helped a lot of business owners do, because video is the best way to do brand marketing. But usually when I'm talking to folks, they just want to do conversion stuff, and I end up making or helping them make something that's funny or fun or whatever, and it leads to this halo effect. And so there is a brand marketing sort of like bonus to that. But what I'm talking about here is specifically going after a brand marketing strategy. Okay, so 3 ways that you can get started with brand marketing right now. Number 1, I think no matter what brand you are, you 100% need to be starting a YouTube channel right now. Right now. You have to start a YouTube channel right now. It's incredibly important. It doesn't matter if you're an e-commerce brand. It does not matter if you do lead gen, if you're an agency, if you are a coach, a consultant, a service-based business. It doesn't matter if you are not the face of your company. You need to have a YouTube channel in place so that you can start taking advantage of that sort of video landing page for your business. That's really what YouTube is. And it's so much easier to get found on YouTube than it is on Google if you're making the right content and you're directly answering people's problems and you're putting value-based stuff out there. It's incredibly important. Okay. So I really think that you need to be starting a YouTube channel, and that can be daunting to some people, but it's not. It doesn't have to be daunting. There's really no reason for that. Okay. The second thing I want you to do, and once again, this can feel very daunting to people, I understand. But the second thing that I want you to do is I want you to be omnipresent. That means that I want you to be everywhere in your business. Everywhere I want your business to be everywhere, which basically means Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, um, whatever, like all that Gary V stuff, the stuff that a lot of us have sort of railed against forever. And like, no, you just, there's so many people that are out there like, no, geez, you got to pick your spots, et cetera, et cetera. Like I personally, here's what I think everybody should be doing. Start a YouTube channel, slice that shit up, and turn it into stuff for the other platforms. This is what I do. It works very well, and it puts you at top of mind. If you can add value and you focus on adding value, then you can very easily create content for other platforms. And it's important to be omnipresent. And because growing on these platforms is sort of like a misnomer. Like, why are we growing on these platforms? We're growing on these platforms to make money, I guess, but we know that followers don't equal money. Subscribers don't even equal money. So it's really just putting the value out there as much as you can in as native a way as you can. But it's impossible to go out there and create specific content for each of these platforms all the time. But there is no doubt, there's absolutely no problem at all with being omnipresent, with being all of the on all of these platforms. You should be on all of these platforms. Okay. So that's very, very important. I go through a little bit of this, by the way. I'll put it on screen. This free blueprint that I have to grow through video in the new way to grow in 2022. I have a free blueprint. I've just put it on screen here so you can download that. And it just sort of teaches you how to go through these pieces and like the new way to do it without huge advertising campaigns and huge advertising money. Okay. All right. So next pieces here. Let me get this off. So that was mattjohnsononline.com/free blueprint. If you are e-commerce, now this is the third step. If you're an e-commerce brand, run branding campaigns on YouTube and Facebook ads. I would focus on YouTube ads, and they should be branding campaigns, right? Don't get focused on direct response, and you don't need to bid on conversions, because we all know that when you're running YouTube ads and you bid on, a max conversions campaign, it's the CPMs are so much higher now. The cost to advertise is so much higher now than it used to be. So go for a different one. Try bumper ads, which are essentially like non-skippable short ads that happen at the beginning of a video. Play with all of this stuff. And I'll tell you what, if you're a local business, or you serve a very specific region, like you should be doing this stuff like now, like right now, because it's so easy to target that little circle of people. Okay. And I also think if you're e-commerce, you should look at OTT, or if you're a local business, you should look at OTT. So that's over the top. So that means advertising on streaming services. Like, for example, I've worked with some brands before there's some media buying agencies out there that I've worked with on the video side, where they sort of buy ads across all these different platforms, like all of these different sites for streaming, like news sites, magazine sites, as well as Hulu and these other like bigger streaming platforms. And they use targeted lists there for people that are, and you can run great branding campaigns there, and maybe you make an offer, maybe you don't. The point is to be top of mind, right? And if you have a very specific geographical area, that can be very powerful. The last is for service and personal brands. Really, you should pursue speaking opportunities, do trainings for other people's communities, retarget your warm audience aggressively with ads, with branding educational content. So CPMs, I think, are just getting way, way, way too expensive, really, to advertise with huge conversion campaigns if you're a small business online. I really feel that way. And so what I think makes a lot of sense is to run like lead magnet campaigns and smaller campaigns to build a warm audience that are somewhat inexpensive. Obviously, you're emailing these people to build that trust and community with those people, maybe getting them into a group or whatever it might be. But then also, what you're doing is you're running Facebook ads, $1, $2 a day with video view and engagement type campaigns, those are the objectives with your educational content, which is just simply like blogs in video form or whatever it is. So if you could do all three of those things, man, you are just cooking. You're cooking with gas. So grab the blueprint, and I'll put that up there one more time because it sort of takes you through how to do these things, like the new way to advertise in 2022. Yeah, I mean, this is definitely the way to go. I mean, the brand marketing it's more important now than ever with everything going on with data and everything in the world. And